Hello. Lovely being here with you lovely people. Do you have fun at the Fringe? Yeah. I also have fun. It wasn't always like that in the UK for me as a German comedian. 3 years ago it was quite different. I did my first ever gig in the UK, in London, in the Comedy Cafe in Shoreditch. I was booked into a mixed show, and the host, he got my name on a piece of paper on stage, and he read it aloud, and was like, ladies and gentlemen, next performer, very, very special guest. Please, welcome on stage, Michael McIntyre. Yeah, it was like that. The crowd went mental. McIntyre. I knew Michael McIntyre as one of the most successful comedy stars in the UK. I was standing behind the curtain. Oh my God, McIntyre. German angst. Ever heard about it? I thought, what am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, do it like Michael McIntyre. Just walk up and down the stage. So, yeah, no, this was in my head. What was really happening was, you know, when we Germans, when we are scared, we tend to walk like that. It's not marching. It's stiff upper leg. British have stiff upper lip, we have stiff upper leg. So, okay, imagine the situation. I was standing behind the curtain, the crowd, McIntyre. I walked on stage. Then I had the biggest blackout I ever had. I started my routine in German. Hallo, ich bin ein Comedian from Deutschland. The first I heard was, go home, Fritz. I felt so offended, personally, by being called Fritz. Because my middle name really is Fritz. And Michael Fritz Mittermeier, that's my full name. I never write it on posters outside of Germany. Yeah, because Fritz. It's the most fucked up German name you can have. Huh? Thank you, Father. Named after every dumb Nazi bad guy in those World War II action movies. There's always a Fritz. Fritz is the Nazi. The Nazi is always the Fritz. Fritzy is the Nazi. Always like that. And he's never smart, handsome, intelligent killer machine. No. It's always moron Fritz, a human blackout, a bratwurst on legs. And he is always guarding the Nazi fortress or the Nazi bunker. Why? He sees nothing. He hears nothing like Andrea Bocelli in SS. So, and I love those movies. Where Eagles Dare, for example. They always show them on Christmas. Where Eagles Dare, you remember? The plot. Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood and some cool allies, they want to break into a Nazi fortress in the Bavarian Alps and to rescue an American general. And guess who is standing guard? Yes, me. So, Fritz is here, and just round the corner, Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood, they talk loudly. Hey, Clint! We're gonna rescue the general. They don't even try to whisper. Oh, Richard, we should be more quiet. There is a guard standing. This one has a handicap. Huh? He is a Fritz. And then they kill me every Christmas. Do they know it? You know, when I was a small boy, I remember I once asked my mother, Mutter, why do we Germans never win in those movies? Ask your grandpa, he lost the war. All these cliches, the Fritz cliche. Many British people here tonight here? Scots, British, English, yay! Why are you here? Didn't you learn at school Germans have no sense of humor? Huh? You learned this in school. Write it on the blackboard. Germans have no sense of humor. At all? Yes, at all. At all. Here in the UK, German comedian, I'm an oxymoron. Huh? A funny German comedian would be like a Russian Human Rights Commission. Americans here tonight? It's nice. They point to some guy. He's American here. Thank you, Judas. But you know what? I like Americans. But I tell you a story, a true story from 2003 when I was in New York. And I tell this story since 2003 in every live show I do because it explains so much about America. So I was in a New York bar and an American girl, she walked up to me and she asked me the following question. Hey, you German guy. Why are there so many different languages in Europe? What to answer to such a highly extreme intelligent question? And I said, look, Tiffany. You want to know why there are so many different languages in Europe? Because we Germans lost the war. No, hey, don't applaud. You know what she answered to me? Oh, I'm so sorry for you guys. And you know all this uproar in the 60s and the 70s. A new awareness rose in German society. And in the 70s, I would say it was the beginning of the German Gilded era. Because I was born in 1966. I'm part of the first post-war generation. When I came to school in 1972, they really overcompensated it by telling us everything about the Nazi history they never taught in the 50s, in the 60s. Every day we had, you guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty, you're guilty. I had a school subject called guilt. 3 times a week we had guilt. On Fridays we had shame. By the time I was 14, I thought I invaded Poland. And also true story, in schools and university later on in the 80s, they always told us, as a German, keep low profile when you go outside of Germany because, why? Yeah, because, guilt. What did I do? I was a teenager. I was like, huh? And it was keep low profile, don't attract attention. Thank you, with this language I have. I was a teenager on Interrail, standing in Paris, asking for the main train station. Guten Tag, könnten Sie mir bitte sagen, wo der Hauptbahnhof ist? Everybody goes down on the floor, a German marching order to Russia. Hey, isn't it weird? We Germans criticize everyone for going to war. We didn't go to Iraq. We don't, don't go to Iraq. No, Russia, it's bad. But, it's kind of, we can say to the Russians, don't shoot the Ukraine people with our weapons and tanks. That's not good. That's not good. Because we sell weapons to everyone. Germany is the world's 3rd biggest arms dealer. And Germany is the world's biggest tank builder and supplier. The whole world loves buying our tanks and weapons. Huh? My theory is everyone feels safer if we don't keep them. But we Germans, we always try to be politically correct. That's one of the stereotypes which is really true. We Germans, the correctness. We are born with this. The Germans, it's really correctness. It flows in our veins. It's ingrained in my brain. I cannot escape. And being a German and a comedian, that's hard. Because as a comedian, I try to be funny. But as a German, I always try to give a correct answer. This combination can be tricky. 2003, when I landed in New York, JFK Airport, I was standing at US Immigration. By the way, never try to be funny at US Immigration. So I was standing there. I'm going to be 6 months in New York. So I was really, woo, 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 woo. So 2 customs officers, they took me aside. Sir, you're using drugs, sir? You have drugs on you, sir? No, sir. No, I don't. I can tell by your eyes. Huh? Look at your eyes. I answer correctly. I cannot look at my eyes because I would have to take them out, turn them around, but then they see empty holes. He was not amused. So he shouted at me, I can tell by your eyes, your pupils are small, you use cocaine. I should have just said no. But the correct inner comedian in me answered, sir, Cocaine makes pupils bigger. Only if you smoke pot, the pupils get small. You remember when a teacher wasn't even shouting anymore? Just looking at you very, very seriously? Who do you think you are? Correctly, I said, I'm a comedian. Then why am I not laughing? I'm a German comedian. That was a good one.
Excuse me, can I switch it off now?
Yes? Thank you very much.